Imagine, what a strange play of nature. Inside fruits, something thousands of years old is born. Yet, this ordinary-looking liquid somehow becomes a curse in some people's lives.
Just a drop of liquid, but powerful enough to unleash a tsunami.
Exactly. Why does this happen? What's the secret behind it?
The answer to that why lies within science itself. Today we'll try to understand the science behind alcoholic drinks, how they affect our body, and also discuss some of the popular myths that people believe.
Alright, let's start from the very beginning. How is alcohol actually made?
There are mainly two methods. The first is very natural, called fermentation. It means the sugars inside fruits or grains are broken down by a type of fungus called yeast, turning them into alcohol or ethanol.
Oh, like how beer or wine is made.
Exactly. It's a process that's been around for thousands of years, nature's own mechanism.
Interesting. And the second method, is that man-made?
Yes, that one's a bit more complex, called distillation. The fermented drink is heated to create vapor, and then that vapor is cooled back into liquid form. This increases the alcohol concentration significantly.
Like whiskey or vodka.
Yes, rum, vodka, whiskey, all of those. But no matter the process, the intoxicating ingredient remains the same, ethanol.
So, what does this ethanol do once it enters the body? What's its journey like?
Once consumed, it first reaches the stomach and then the small intestine, quickly mixing into the bloodstream.
Faster on an empty stomach?
Exactly. And if it's mixed with a carbonated drink like soda, absorption becomes even faster.
And what about the liver? Doesn't it try to remove it from the body?
Yes, the liver is our main defender here. It starts breaking down ethanol, first turning it into acetaldehyde, which is actually quite toxic.
Oh! Is that why we get those terrible hangovers the next day?
Exactly. Headache, nausea, fatigue, all because of that. Then the liver further breaks down acetaldehyde into acetate, which is less harmful.
But can the liver keep doing this forever?
No, that's the problem. The liver has a limited processing rate. It can break down only a certain amount of alcohol per hour. If more alcohol enters the blood than it can handle, the excess keeps circulating and starts affecting various organs, especially the brain.
The brain? Yes, that's probably where the real effect shows up. What happens inside the brain?
Inside the brain, nerve cells communicate through chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. Alcohol interferes with how these messengers work.
How exactly?
For example, there's one called GABA, which keeps the brain calm and relaxed. Alcohol enhances its effect, which is why we feel drowsy or sluggish.
I see.
On the other hand, there's another called glutamate, which keeps the brain active and alert. Alcohol suppresses that. So calmness increases, alertness decreases. The result: poor judgment, slow reactions, and sleepiness.
But yet in that drowsiness, people feel a kind of pleasure or relaxation. Why?
Because alcohol boosts the release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and endorphins. That's why we feel relaxed or happy, but it's a trap.
A trap?
Yes, too much can blur memory. You forget what happened the night before, called a blackout. In extreme cases, it can even shut down the part of the brain that controls breathing, leading to death.
Terrifying. And what about long-term effects for regular drinkers?
The long-term effects are even scarier. Regular drinking can actually shrink the brain, especially the frontal lobe, responsible for decision-making and emotional control.
Shrink the brain?
Yes, and as we mentioned, the liver can develop fatty liver or even cirrhosis, where it stops working. Plus, there's increased risk of heart disease, pancreatitis, kidney issues, and even cancer. The list is long.
And yet so many myths are around us, like red wine being good for the heart.
That's a dangerous myth. The small amount of antioxidants in red wine can easily be found in grapes or fruits, but the alcohol you take in does far more harm than any tiny benefit.
What does the World Health Organization say?
The World Health Organization has made it clear there's no safe level of alcohol consumption. Even what we think is a little can be harmful. New research shows even small amounts can cause long-term brain changes.
So beer or wine being safer because they're lighter, that's also wrong.
Completely wrong. To the liver, all ethanol is equally harmful, whether from beer or whiskey. The real danger is people drink more of the lighter ones, ending up with even more total alcohol in their system.
And what about drinking in winter to stay warm?
That's another myth. Alcohol dilates blood vessels near the skin, making you feel warm, but it actually lowers your core temperature. So in cold weather, drinking increases the risk of hypothermia.
That's shocking. And what about immunity? Does it affect our immune system?
Yes, and very quickly. Studies show that even a single drinking session, just once, can weaken your immune response for up to 24 hours.
Just imagine.
Only once.
That's really worrying.
So why do people still get addicted despite knowing all this? Why can't they break the cycle?
It's the brain's reward system. When dopamine releases that feel-good sensation, the brain remembers it as a reward. So whenever stress, sadness, or boredom hits, the brain reminds you of that easy pleasure.
And then?
And then, over time, you need more alcohol to get the same feeling. That's tolerance. And when someone tries to quit, withdrawal symptoms appear. Trembling hands, sweating, restlessness, insomnia, even hallucinations. To escape the pain, they drink again. And the vicious cycle continues.
Breaking that cycle is hard, but not impossible.
And socially, it must have huge impacts, right? On family and community?
Absolutely. Family conflicts, violence, road accidents, financial issues, alcohol is behind many of them. And this isn't just a Western issue. In South Asian countries like Bangladesh and India, its impact is equally serious, especially on children who suffer long-term emotional trauma.
After hearing all this, it feels hopeless. Is there no way out?
There is. Addiction is now recognized as a disease, and it can be treated. With proper medical support, counseling, support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, and most importantly, strong willpower, recovery is possible.
So, there's hope?
Yes, there's always hope. But even more important is awareness. Helping ourselves or loved ones before it's too late.
So true. It's strange, isn't it? Something so naturally created by nature can cause such complex problems in human society. But tell me, do we really need this drink to celebrate or to forget pain?
That's the real question. Before lifting that glass, maybe pause and ask, what am I really thirsty for? Perhaps understanding that thirst is the most important step. Before choosing this drink of life, we need to know what we truly seek. That's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you.